Page 15, Chapter 2, Time. Time is the great element in restoration of abnormal to normal, dis-ease to ease, death to life. Principle and practice of chiropractic is single and simple. There is a complete cyclic continuity of matter from efferent brain cell through nerve fiber to tissue cell, and the complete cyclic continuity from afferent tissue cell through nerve fiber back to brain, and there is a continuity free flow of normal quantity of innate abstract nerve force on mental impulse, supply following both ways throughout continuity of cyclic matter. Then there would be a normal flow of innate intellectual functional energy efferently, and a normal flow of innate intellectual sense impressions afferently. Throughout the continuity cycle of matter, life, health, and function will be at par level at all times in all ways, directing, controlling, and governing life. Innate alone is the only source of knowing that what that par level internally is. Inasmuch as the inherent innate intelligence residing in innate brain is always normal, ready, willing, anxious to meet all internal necessities, both normal and abnormal. It is now free to accomplish its living and healthful objective internally without further activities or molestations on part of any outside second-hand educated being, regardless of external method, thought advisable or necessary to aid nature to do its duty. That there is an abstract mental, soul, or spiritual study of living objects is obvious. Now, he put soul or spiritual study, DD very distinctly separated innate, spirit, soul, God. That there is a concrete, physical, corporeal study of inanimate objects is plain. That either or both have been and are the theaters of man's study of man is evident. That neither can or does exist by itself, independent of the other, is consistent. That each has long regarded as separate, indivisible, disunited in his studies is clear. That students theoretically know that there are two together in living man is visible. Yet, for purposes of practicing the art of good and bad, sins, evils, and diseases, religions and dogmas of each divided half, they have been separated into two categories apart from each other. In one instance, we have Christian scientists, metaphysicians, psychologists, psychiatrists, hypnotists, etc. In another group, we have physicians, materia medica, surgeons, scientists, including endless subdivisions of therapists who treat disease per se, including materialistic remedies, remedies applied to or into the physical body to cure or heal physical ills. That the two never have been practically applied together, and as one in other arts, one, two, into, or through the others is self-evident. If they had sins, evils, and diseases, religions and dogmas would be naturally explained and normally corrected. And if they had diseases per se, would be made normal naturally. that each half acknowledges its half, that each half acknowledges presence of other half. In theory, that each half thinks it's one half, if the totality for purposes of study and practice is apparent. That neither half is the whole is unmistakable, that both are vitally essential to each other's half. It is acknowledged, yet never made real because of the lack of knowledge of where, when, how, and why in living man they can be and frequently do become partially separated one from other, or where, when, how, and why they can be united one into other and thus become entirely united. The only practical applied principle and practice in study or art of the answer of where, how, when, and why they can be and are united is contained in knowledge of innate, as one fuses and blends into matter when permitted to do so uninterrupted, uninterfered between and one another, with between and one and other. Knowledge of vertebral subluxation as cause of interference and vertebral adjustment as correction of cause solves all disunity and the unity of two halves to make one unity, mind and matter, which blends each with other. The conflict on part of human beings between knowledge of and lack of knowledge is this inborn or born in innate, is incalculated because of two universal adverse educational influences: medical adverse theories and religious adverse dogmas. That's the end of chapter 2. He's getting into it and understanding the differences and where we've come from. I think that's a very important factor. D.D. spent a lot of time in giving us an understanding of innate intelligence, spiritual understanding of the life that animates this beautiful material system. The body is more than a machine. It is an expression of God. Innate intelligence manages the show, makes sure it's running, replacing cells, healing the body. The soul is what animates the innate. That's what we get from D.D. Palmer. Universal intelligence creates all of it. It is that energetic force that creates all things. It is all things that are and all things that haven't happened yet or that we even know about. So this was chapter 2. Now we're getting in chapter 3:1 conflict coming up next.